Hello everybody, welcome to my studio. In this video, I'm going to take you through the process of an entire painting and through all the various ups and downs along the way. So, welcome to my painting diaries. When I was younger, I would always hear people say that every painting started with a good idea. But I don't really believe that anymore. For me, paintings always start with a surface, which may sound like a pedantic difference, but I think it's important. Anyways, for this painting I decided to work with canvas mounted on panel. After gessoing the surface a couple times, I laid it out to dry for the night, and when I came back to it the next morning, it was ready for the next layer of priming. This time though, it's with oil paints. So I cleared off my palette, put away some of the gunky paint, and got to the priming, which is often called toning at this stage. Basically, it's to get rid of any of the white on the canvas, which is very distracting. It also gives the painting a little bit of a colorful undertone, which can be nice. Alright, so I should probably wait for things to dry, but I'm eager to get started, so I am just gonna get going and work on drawing and hopefully not get carried away into starting painting too soon. I did, of course, get carried away painting. I am a painter after all. But I started the drawing with one of these rags to lift up some of the toning. Since the toning is pretty thin at this stage, it's pretty easy to lift up because it doesn't fully cure, it just sort of dries out. After that, I went in to fix the drawing with some very thin oil paints, just a little bit of red. And here is where I started to get carried away with the painting. As you can probably tell, the toning is very not dry. You can see the paint on top is smudging into the paint below, which is not a good thing and will cause some problems later down the line. But anyways, this stage of the painting is really just to cover everything and get a vague sense of what kind of colors I'm looking for. But besides that, I'm just looking for undertones, finding some interesting colors that might organically work with the sort of darker greens that I'm going to put over top. And now comes the fun part, which is scraping it all out. I do this mainly so that it'll dry a little bit faster, but also so that the texture of the underpaint doesn't affect the overpainting too much. I like to have the brush strokes of the top layer be most evident. Alright, I'm in the worst part of the painting, which is just where everything looks bad and I just have to wait and trust the process, which is horrible. I'm starting to get a little antsy while waiting for things to dry, so I'm gonna go work on a little ink sketch just to calm the nerves. you watched the last painting, Diaries, you know that I've been talking a lot about pivoting. And I think for me, ink drawings have been such a lovely thing to pivot to. Ink has always had a little bit of a magical quality to me. The line between control and chaos has, at varying points in my life, been frustrating and exciting. And I think right now I'm learning to work with that pretty well. And in some cases I think my ink drawings are much more successful than my oil paintings, which is not something I thought I'd ever say. But here we are. After a couple days of waiting, it is finally time to finish this painting. I'm a little timid with my painting here. I haven't worked on canvas in a really long time, and it has a very specific quality that the mylar that I've been working on doesn't have. I always feel like I have to scrub the paint in a little bit, which I find a little bit hard to navigate when I'm looking for strong brush strokes, but I think I managed to have some good brush strokes in this one, even if overall the brush strokes aren't as vivid as I would like them to be. I'm starting to go at it with some really dark colors, increase the contrast, and sort of put this figure into perspective. People have described my work as a little treasure hunt in looking for the figures and not always knowing if you're seeing the right figures, which I wouldn't say there are right figures, but I know what they mean. I think with a painting like this, there's always a little bit of hesitation, not only in the way that somebody looks at it and interprets it, but also in the way that I make it. These paintings and the process that I use to make them are very designed to allow for spontaneity and allow for, I guess, a multiplicity of interpretations and directions that I could go. So this painting is, I would say, a medium success. I really love the portrait in the top center. I think that kind of abstraction is very fresh and it feels good to me. But I think the overall brush strokes got a little bit messy. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.